Hey guys and girls, my name's Alan and welcome to today's News Drop episode. So, it's funny, right? I've been waiting ages, well, not necessarily waiting ages, but, just waiting for some news to drop on both Mass Effect and Uncharted, and then, would you have it, they all fall on the same day. So I've been pretty busy, obviously trying to make videos for both games. So yeah, Mass Effect multiplayer was revealed earlier in the week, and I did do trailer analysis for those. They're quite lengthy, but a lot of information covered. So if you want to check those out, they're on the channel. I'll also link it in the description as well. But today, as you can see from the title of the video, we are going to be talking about Uncharted 4 multiplayer. So this is, well, there wasn't technically a patch or an update number or anything like that, but I'm just going to call it the March update. Okay, so as per usual, Naughty Dog did a live stream to showcase the new content. Information wise, yeah, same as usual, a few bits and bobs here and there, but for the most part it could have been condensed down into 15 minutes if they really wanted to, but I guess it was nice to see the weapons in action. Alright, so that's probably a good place to start then. So the three new weapons are 2 assault rifles and 1 pistol. So the first assault rifle is called the INSAS, which is a very unfortunate name because it sounds very similar to incest, which is not a good thing. And then the second one is the Type 95, which if you've played Call of Duty or other FPS shooters, you'll probably recognize straight away as an assault rifle, and it's quite a distinctive look as well. And then the one pistol is called the Krivosk-XS. I'm assuming that's named after somebody, but it's kind of a weird name. The gun looks kind of weird as well, and the reason why it looks kind of weird is because it's got a scope on top of it, but it's not like you don't have to ADS using that scope. So I guess it's the Bishai, but without. You don't have to ADS straight into the scope. You have the option to do so. It is a semi-automatic, so you can actually just fire it like a normal pistol without using the scope. But obviously, if you want extra range, then you can do so. They sort of likened it to the Power 9 in terms of damage. So expect a similar number of bullets to down. The clip size looks about 10 thereabouts. So I mean, on the surface, if it is like the Power 9, then I guess it's going to be moderately damaging. But we'll have to wait and see in terms of the recoil and obviously whether the scope makes much of a difference, because if you're going to snipe, you might as well use a proper sniper rifle. Sidearms are sort of not the best way to go unless you're trying to do it from an angle, off a ledge or something. But even then, like you're better off just sniping with a normal sniper and getting yourself into a better position. In terms of the INSAS, they didn't really talk about it too much. I kind of got confused between that and the Type 95. Now, the Type 95 they did compare to a cross between the AK-47 and the Arrowhead. The Arrowhead obviously has a slow rate of fire, but it's accurate. The AK has a slow rate of fire, not so accurate, but it does more damage. So it's sort of in between, I'm guessing, from the way they talked about it. INSAS, not too sure. It looks as though it could be another mid-range weapon. It does say mid-range on the screen, so again, this is probably going to be something along the same vein as the HS-39, possibly, but maybe slow rate of fire, I'd have thought. So I'd have to wait and see. I don't know. I guess they're running out of categories to place weapons in. We've got quite a decent amount for all ranges and stuff, so I'll have to wait and see how that goes. Alright, so moving on to customization options, and I know some of you really love this sort of stuff, so I'll put plenty of screens into the videos for you to enjoy. So as you can see, the first, it's a new category, and they're calling it the Starlight. It's based on the comic books which featured in the Last of Us campaign, so you might recognize some of the designs. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, you know my thoughts and opinions on customization items, so I won't really cover them again here, but it's not a massive selling point for me. But I guess if you enjoy that sort of thing, then you got a few more things to open. They did include a few more Western items as well, hats and full outfits for certain characters. Some of them look okay. I don't know if I'd swap them out for the ones I'm using at the moment. Again, it's about how you play the game, not how you look. Looking good is kind of pointless if you lose or go 0-20 or something. So it's a moot point. If you enjoy doing it, great. If not, then it's whatever. A few new headpieces as well. Some of those quite interesting. And as I said, it's mainly about the full body skins. Those are the ones which stand out the most, and you can see those on the screen at the moment. Okay, so as well as new theme and customization options for characters, there are a few more new taunts as well, and obviously these are kind of hard to put into a video without having to insert the actual footage itself, but I'll put a few screens so you can see what they're called. And I mean, I guess if you've played previous Uncharted games, you kind of recognize some of them anyway. They're just been renamed slightly, but I think you'll recognize them as soon as you see them in action. Okay, so moving on to the store, and obviously that's where you buy the new content. Well, not buy, but that's where you get the chests, and that's where the content is. They did mention one other thing regarding Uncharted points. So Uncharted points is like the microtransactions version for this game, and you can buy Uncharted points using real world money, and then you can use those points to unlock chests instead of relics if you don't earn them fast enough, or if you just want to spend some money or something. So apparently, I think I might have talked about this before, but VIPs are people who bought real world. Who spent real world money on these points, and you get a VIP status, which I don't really approve of, but that's neither here nor there. And apparently in the past you got 20% plus extra relics every time you completed a challenge. That's now changing from 20 to 40%, so you can earn relics at a lot higher rate, almost 50% more than what you would normally. So I think it's a little bit unfair. I mean, if you're choosing to spend real world money on these things in the store, then that's what you're paying for. If you get more relics for spending real world money, that seems like a bit of an advantage. I mean, I guess it's capped at 10k anyway, and I suppose I earn relics fast enough for me not to really care about earning more relics, but it just seems like a bit of a, I know. And they did say that you don't have to buy a lot of points. You can buy the cheapest pack available and still become a VIP, and therefore get the 40% bonus. So I guess if you really want the bonus, you can just spend the minimum amount of money. I don't know how much it is. It's probably about 5-10 quid or whatever, and then obviously you can get the bonus relics permanently. But it is what it is. Okay, so moving on to the new game mode. I mean, I say new, it's King of the Hill, but it's the final version now. So they've taken it out of beta mode, and they've made a few tweaks and changes, and they've introduced it as the final version of the game. So I mean, I guess it mostly stays the same. Obviously there are hills, you need to capture them. Once you've captured the hill, if you die, you don't respawn. That hasn't been changed, unfortunately. The only difference now though is so you get a set amount of points for capturing the hill, and then obviously as each second that you control the hill, you continue to get points, and then the enemy team try and break that hill. But as I said, as a defender, now that you've captured the hill, if you die, you don't respawn. However, there is like a 5-second grace window. So if you just capture the hill, you die instantly, then you do respawn. Whereas previously, if you died, even if it was 1 second into the hill being captured, you have to sit out the hill and just spectate, which was a little bit annoying because obviously you sort of die in the process of capturing the hill, and then obviously you sort of sacrifice yourself for that, and it's just, they fixed it now. And then as an attacker, so the hill's been taken and the enemy team are defending it. As an attacker, you need to try and break that hill and neutralize it, and once you neutralize it, the enemy team stop earning points, and then they respawn, and then a new hill comes into rotation, and then obviously you go and fight for that new hill. Okay, so one of the changes they've made now is that the enemy team who are attacking, so attackers attacking the defenders on the hill, if they kill an enemy player, they get a few points for killing that enemy player, and it goes towards the actual game score itself. So I think they said it was 4 points per KO. So if you kill the entire enemy team, that's 4 times 5, that's 20 points, which is not a massive amount, but I mean, over the course of a game, if you manage to break the hill quickly over and over again, you can sort of keep yourself in the running for the match. Whereas in the beta version of King of the Hill, if you were losing, it was very hard to come back, especially if you're fighting against a good team. But now they've sort of made it so you can sort of earn points while taking back the hill, which you initially lost anyway. And the other big change is that towards the end of the game, so it's first team to hit 200 points. Once you hit 200 points, whatever hill you're in at the moment, just it expires straight away. So let's say Team A are on 199 points and Team B is on 100 points. Once you get to 200 points, because Team A has currently captured the hill expires, Team A is still on 200 points, and then another hill comes into rotation, and this hill is called the final hill. And as the name suggests, in order to win the game, you need to capture this final hill. So if, let's say, Team B, who take the hill from Team A, Team B can continue to earn points, but Team A, even if they kill players on the hill, defenders, they don't get any more points. So you need to take that hill in order to win. So let's say Team A is on 200 points, Team B is now on, I don't know, 130, whatever, and then another hill comes into rotation, and so on and so forth. So until Team A captures and basically goes over the 200 mark, they won't win. So it gives Team B a chance to sort of try and fight back, and if they keep fighting back, eventually two teams will go neck and neck, so it'll be 200, and then it'll be sudden death. First team to capture the hill wins a match. And again, examples are on the screen now, so you can see what I'm talking about. I guess it's better now that you can sort of fight back if you're on the losing side, but this just drags out the match. And I don't know how I feel about it. I haven't played it yet, so I don't know. I'm going to download the update later on and I'm going to give it a crack. But this whole having to claim the final hill, that just, I don't know, just if the other enemy team is losing, then just, just so be it. Move on to the next match, But I don't know. We'll wait and see. Maybe it's going to be more fun than I predict. Alright, so there's just a few points regarding balance changes. Not many, just a couple, literally just a couple. So for this specific game mode, King of the Hill, the El Dorado duration has been nerfed, so it's approximately half of what it is for other game modes. So it does the same sort of damage and it costs the same and all the rest of it, but it lasts for only half the duration, which I think is a bit BS, to be honest. I understand the spam, which is it's one of the reasons why I don't really think mysticals have a place in games such as Uncharted, but that's just me. But anyway, they've nerfed it, so for just King of the Hill it is half duration, but all the rest of the figures stay exactly the same, and in other game modes stays the same as well, so it's just for King of the Hill. C4 priming time has been extended by 0.25 seconds, a whole 0.25, so you can no longer check it out and detonate it as quick as you could previously. I mean, I generally don't use C4 that much. It is quite strong, it is powerful, and I can use it quite well, but I prefer my grenades. That's just the way how I play, and that's about it. Oh wait, no, there is one other thing. So pull downs and miss pulls when you're on a ledge. So if you're trying to pull an enemy over the cliff or whatever, they noticed that it was a little bit long, the recovery time. So if you missed or if you actually did get a pull down, your recovery time was quite long. So now they've sped it up a bit. So I guess you can try and go for consecutive pulls on multiple enemies if they haven't kicked you in the face already. Again, it's not a massive change, but it's a nice change, I suppose, because you do have an advantage as a kicker than you are as a puller. Well, that's the same across this game, Uncharted 3 and Uncharted 2 as well. There are more balancing changes in the pipeline. Nothing was said, nothing concrete has been talked about, but they're planning on making more changes in the future. I don't know if they're going to be big changes or small changes. As I said, nothing was said, but more balance changes to come in the future. Okay, so there was originally going to be a new map along with this update, but they just couldn't get it out the door in time. They had to fine tune a few things, and in the end it didn't make the cut. So that new map is going to come, and I quote, very soon. So I don't know, it could be as early as next week or maybe the week after that. Generally when they say soon, it's within a couple of weeks, so very soon. Well, your guess is as good as mine, but I'm guessing sooner than a 2-week period. And it's going to be based on an Uncharted 4 environment. So I don't know, I'm curious to see what it is, to be honest. We've covered most of the scenarios already. I would speculate as to what environments they could base it on, but I'm just conscious that I don't want to talk about scenarios in the story which you may or may not have played yet. So for the sake of spoilers, I'm just going to bypass this topic, but feel free to speculate in the comment section below. Just please put the word spoiler at the start if it's something, spoiler, obviously. They did mention two other things that they've fixed or they've worked on for this update, and that's the profile reset bug and the not getting challenges issue. Fortunately, I never experienced either of these myself, but I do know a couple of people who did struggle with these. So hopefully now their stats won't keep getting reset, and people who can't get challenges can obviously get challenges so that they can earn relics to buy stuff. Speaking of buying stuff, I'll probably do a DLC chest opening at some point, possibly going up this weekend or sometime during next week. That's the plan anyway, before Andromeda comes out, obviously, because I'll be busy playing that when it does. Alright, so we're moving towards the end of the stream now, and not many big changes for survival. I think they've tweaked some of the times to complete certain waves because hardcore was a bit much. I still haven't done it yet, but I have reasons for not having done it yet, and I'll cover this on AcornVision Gaming at another point. There are 3 new boosters. The first one is called Iron Jaw, the second one is called Heavy Weapons Expert, and the third one is called XP Farmer. XP Farmer, I genuinely do not understand why this was added. It's exactly as the name sounds. You can earn more XP from playing survival to help you rank up faster. Anyone who's played any amount of time on survival surely must have hit 50 by now. I don't understand why you would need this. The reason why this booster was added, the guy in the stream, I think it was Aaron, he said that some people hadn't hit level 50 yet, and obviously I haven't hit level 50 yet, but if they needed a boost to play crushing or hardcore, here's a tip: if you haven't done enough yet to hit level 50, you probably aren't ready for hardcore or crushing, because you don't have the weapons that you need, and you probably don't have access to the level of weapon that you probably need and would be useful to help complete crushing and hardcore. So I don't really understand this booster whatsoever, but if you need XP, then there you go, I guess. There you are. The other one is Heavy Weapons Expert, and as the name suggests, it's to do with heavy weapons that you buy from the crates in the match. And basically, if you equip it, you get a reduction in their purchase price, and this also stacks with the boosters as well. So if you've got, say, reduction in boosters, reduction booster on for heavy weapons, it will stack with this 25%. Not too sure if it's additive or multiplicative, but I'm guessing it's going to be multiplicative, not additive. And then damage from heavy weapons is also increased if you go for a higher level one. So, I mean, yeah, it would be nice to have this, but at the expense of some of the other boosters that you could bring, I'm not too sure. The reason why they added this was because they felt people weren't using heavy weapons enough, and that is quite true. I find that in comparison to Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3, I don't use heavy weapons nearly as much as I did in those games. Various reasons, they're not as effective. I mean, RPGs, snipers, they still don't do one headshot down, even if you pick up the was it the can't remember what it's called now, the one that you buy from the store, basically. RPGs seldom do one-hit kills on a lot of targets, and even if you hit like armored enemies, they're generally not even weakened that much anyway on high difficulty, so it's kind of pointless. So yeah, I mean, they should be more potent. I feel like you shouldn't need a booster to make them more potent, but that's just the way it is. And the third and final booster is called Iron Jaw, and again, as the name suggests, it's to do with fighting. So in this case, if you equip it, you take less melee damage from enemies, and as you go higher up the ranks, you require less hits to escape from a hunter's grab. Ideally, you shouldn't be grabbed in the first place. That's just sort of survival tactic you should learn. And then at the very top of the list is when you're fighting enemies, they counter less. So when you're punching an enemy in the stomach or whatever, sometimes they'll block your shot. They'll put up less of a resistance, I suppose. And again, probably shouldn't be a booster to change these sort of things, but if you struggle, then this is another reason why I don't melee as much as I did in previous games as well. So I don't know, I have a lot to talk about regarding survival, and I will do this, as I said, on my AcornVision gaming channel. But those are the new boosters, just 3 of them, and you can see all the pictures on the screen. And that was about it, to be honest. As I said, not particularly a lot of information to talk about, but a few points here and there. They did cover some minor points at the end as well, and I'll just go over that now. So rank season 5 has not yet been revealed, as in the rewards. I mean, there's still like 2 weeks of season 4, so it's probably a bit premature, but again, that'll probably come out in due course. They did talk a little bit about blind fire and how it's still a problem, and they were looking to deal with it, I quote, in the near future. I genuinely don't understand this. This has been a problem since Uncharted 2. All they need to do is turn it off. Just do it like any other shooter, FPS shooter. Give a player a certain circumference where bullets will fire into at random locations, but don't put on auto aim, don't put on target lock. Take all of that stuff out, turn all of that stuff off. I don't understand what the problem is here. If you're playing the game and you're blind firing more often than you're ADSing, there's something wrong there, right? So it doesn't make sense to me. It's a clear solution. Turn it off. People will stop using it once they find out how terrible blind firing is with a weapon. And you're not meant to blind fire unless you get caught unawares, or if you turn a corner and you can't ADS in time or whatever. That's what blind fire is for. I mean, if you take Call of Duty or Battlefield, for example, if you run around in time match blind firing, you're going to get approximately 0 kills if you're playing against people who actually know what they're doing. So I don't get why it's such a big deal and why they haven't come up with a solution for it yet. It's just, I don't know, it's bewildering to me, but it is what it is. Okay, so before we go on Rant Avenue, let's move on to the next one. So no plans to raise the level cap at the moment, but they did say that they know people have hit level, whatever it is now, and they are planning to possibly introduce more levels. You don't really earn anything for leveling up, so again, this is like one of those things where, yeah, it's nice to have, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, I don't know. Some people maybe just want to continue instead of earning just dead XP, but again, you don't get anything for leveling up, so it's kind of pointless. They confirmed that clan tags are not coming to Uncharted 4 multiplayer. It's a shame. I did see this coming though. Ever since they started making it so that players can't see each other in lobbies and stuff like that, it's just natural progression that they wouldn't put in clan tags, because they don't want players to get intimidated. that is, I mean, they haven't said this officially, but that's clean cut. That's just what it is. The reason why they don't want people to see levels, why they don't want to see clan tags or don't want to see names, is they don't want people to be intimidated before the matches even started, so people will quit. And I don't know. It's just I genuinely don't understand how gaming has come to this sort of a situation whereby you can't even put basic features like that in without being worried about alienating or causing some sort of issue with other players. It's mad. It's absolutely mental. And speaking of matchmaking, have you ever tried to play in a full party? It is just horrendous. I've never experienced a game in my life whereby playing with friends or just having a party going is such an absolute ball ache. I don't know. It's just it's one of those Uncharted things that you can. It's only in Uncharted for some bizarre reason. All right. They're possibly thinking about introducing new characters. Again, this is coming, quote, soon, possibly. In Uncharted 2, they did add like 2 new characters for the very high ranks that they added. So I'm guessing it could be something similar to that. I mean, would be a nice reward to have, but again, it's just 2 characters that I probably wouldn't use. I didn't use in Uncharted 2. So something to work towards, but nothing essential. And still, they're talking about adding new modes to ranked. They keep talking about it. I don't think it's going to happen. And if it does happen, it won't be anytime soon. TDM is, I mean, I don't know how would they even do it. Like, does each game mode count towards your rank score then? How does that work? And it's just, there's too many variables, and I can't see it happening. I genuinely can't see it happening anytime soon, if it does at all. So I mean, if you're looking forward to that, I probably wouldn't hold your breath, but it's still up for discussion. Speaking of discussion, actually, there was one thing I didn't mention about the blind fire. They actually said they're going to look at getting some community feedback on it. Like, I get the impression that they know it's an issue and it's something that they want, that they know the community want to deal with, but they just don't know how to handle it. And my solution is pretty clean cut. Turn it off. That's my idea. It's not rocket science, but I'm guessing they don't want to lose the casuals, right? Casuals, I'm guessing, make up quite a big majority of their player base, and I don't know. It's come to that point where blind firing is sort of accepted now, and that's been a problem since Uncharted 2, and it just hasn't been fixed. And I don't think they are going to fix it. They talk a lot about it, but I just don't think they're going to do anything about it. Nothing substantial anyway, and I don't think they're going to turn it off either. So it's a big shame, but again, it's just one of those Uncharted things that you just got to deal with, unfortunately, as a fan. There is one more DLC stop on the roadmap, and if you don't know about the roadmap, I've got a video on the channel somewhere. Basically, talks about their plans for releasing DLC over the coming year. That first year is now actually coming to an end. It's been almost a year since launch, which is mad. One of the guys said that there are some, quote, some nice surprises, end quote, on the way. Adventure mode, possibly, hopefully. I don't know, more co-op stuff, something other than survival, please. But yeah, that was pretty much the end of the stream there. So you're probably wondering when this update is going live. Well, the update should be live as of now. Technically, it came out yesterday, Friday, but obviously I didn't have time to record a video until the Friday night, and obviously I didn't have time to post it and upload it until today. So it should be live by now. Just go to the game, update it as you would any other game, and then just start playing. As it's not a very big update, it's just a few weapons and a few tweaks, so it shouldn't be huge. I don't know if they've put the map into the update already, and then just obviously they'll flick the switch and make it live. But even so, one map shouldn't be that big, so you're looking at maybe a few hundred megabytes or something for the whole update. But again, I haven't downloaded it yet, so I don't know, but it's probably around that size. Alright, so that'll do it for this news drop episode. As per usual, quite long. That's just because I like to talk a lot, share my opinions, you know how it is by now. But yeah, if you've got anything else you'd like to share with me in the comment section below, then hit the box and type some words. If you enjoyed the video, consider tapping that like button. I really do appreciate it. As I said, Mass Effect multiplayer reveal trailer analysis is on the channel now, so check it out if you're interested in hearing about that. The game is launching next week, so I will be playing that and uploading quite a lot of footage to both my gaming channel, and I'll probably be doing a walkthrough on my Plays channel as well, so stay tuned if you're interested for those. So yeah, until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, take care, and I will see you later.